Let's try the Supergoop Protec Tint SPF 50. Okay, honestly, I've been wearing this the past couple of days, set with some powder, and I'll share my thoughts about everything at the end of the video. The claim of this is that it's a cushiony, lightweight skin tint that gives a natural second skin finish. I already have concealer on. I'll have everything listed down below. Usually, I have my eyes done, but I've been having bad allergies on my eyes, so I haven't been doing anything to them, not even mascara, as they get irritated very easily. So this is it for the eyes. Let's get started with the skin tint. The shade I got is, where is it? The shade I got is 24N, but it's like faded on the bottom, but it's 24N. Unlike the CL skin tint, which I have a whole video on, this one has a like squeeze out packaging. The packaging is also really cute. It's very small, very travel friendly, and it's a twist off, which is nice. The CL is you take off the cap and then you take out the dropper, so it's a dropper. So even though they're similar products, their packaging are very, very different. Honestly, I kind of prefer this packaging. It makes it more travel friendly and just easier to mess around with. As always, I'm just gonna squeeze a bit on the back of my hand. Now, normally when I've been using this for the past couple of days, I do go in with some concealer and I cover up just a bit. Like I have a little guy right here and, you know, a little thing right here, but I'm not going to do that for today's video. I want you guys to see the coverage for itself. It's a very, very light coverage. So I'm going to grab the product with my brush. I don't notice a scent on this. I always like to give a little disclaimer. I do suffer chronic congestion, so my scent is not always accurate or there to begin with. Like, I can't smell half the time. It blends in very nicely. The shade I got is ever so slight, just a hair dark, like half a hair strand dark, but I actually like that because we're going into summer now. So as my skin tans, even though I am always applying SPF, my skin will still get tan. It'll match perfectly. Because it's just a hair dark, I am gonna bring it down on the sides of my neck. Where I want a little bit more coverage, which is where I have that little guy, I'm gonna pat it in, dab with my brush. I didn't say, but beneath the skin tint, I did use SPF. I used the NYX Blur Screen SPF 30 as my SPF and primer. Even though this has SPF 50, I don't think you really want to use this alone as your SPF to get the maximum benefits of your SPF. Go in with the SPF first and then apply this, which they actually recommend you do on their website, which I appreciate. So this is what it's looking like. So it's very nice. They say it's lightweight, and again, I've been wearing this the past couple days, so I have some thoughts already. I agree that it's lightweight at first, but as it sits on your skin for a bit, you can kind of feel it there. Like I feel it right now on my skin. However, as the day goes by, and maybe that might change today, being that I'm not going to use any powder, but as the day goes on, I noticed that kind of fades away. Like you don't feel it anymore. It's kind of dry right now. It's still a little wet. I don't know if you can tell there on my nails. I always like to do the nail test because I don't know. I just don't like when like you're moving hair out your face and you see like residue of your makeup. Anyone else like that? I know it can't just be me. So I didn't mention, but this comes in 14 shades, which is one shade more than the CL skin tint. And usually with skin tints, that's okay because they are more flexible. Because they're so sheer in coverage, your natural skin tone will peek through. It's better flexible to work than say if it was like a full coverage foundation, then that's not okay. So I'm gonna go in with some bronzer now, and I'm gonna use my favorite Charlotte Tilbury. So the skin tint is also formulated with 83% skincare ingredients. Though I wish they would have listed all the ingredients like on the packaging or something. It just shows the sunscreen, the SPF ingredients on there. But two of the ingredients that they highlight are ectoin and hyaluronic acid infused clay, which are supposed to balance the skin's moisture and defend skin oxidative stress. I'm looking down because I'm looking at my notes. But that's what the ingredients are supposed to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply my bronzer. I like to bring my bronzer really low because I have quite the real estate to work with. Have you guys tried the skin tint? Let me know your thoughts down below if you've tried it and what you think about it. I've been really enjoying it, but again, I'm gonna give my full thoughts at the end of the day when we do this wear test with no powder or anything. But so far, I have to say I'm actually enjoying it. And it's very easy to just throw on, and if you want nothing, like if you want to just stop here, no bronzer or nothing, you're good to go with just this. It's just put it on and go. You have that extra layer of SPF, you're good. So now that we have our bronzer on, let's go right into blush. And this is kind of what I've been doing for like the past few days, is just throwing this on, some bronzer, blush, concealer, lip, and calling it a day. And I gotta tell you, when you're not doing your eye makeup, makeup gets done so much quicker. So for blush, I'm gonna use the Saie liquid blush in the shade Rosy. I forgot how much I love this blush. I've had it in my collection for a while, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful shade. I'm gonna dab it on the back of my hand and work that into the brush. Look how pretty that blush is. I love it. This is one of those liquid blushes that's also fairly easy to work with. I would say easier than the Rare Beauty ones as well. If you haven't tried the Saie liquid blushes, I highly recommend you do. Look how beautiful that is. It has like a beautiful glow to it too. I'm gonna add a little more blush, and I'm gonna add the Hourglass Ambient Lighting blush in Mood Exposure. And I like to add as much blush as I can because it's honestly what fades the quickest, especially on me. And for some reason, my right cheek, it will go first. Like, it's completely, I don't know why. It's not like my skin prep is different on one side than the other, but it usually fades more on the right side than on my left, which is, it's weird, right? So I'm gonna grab just a bit and go right on top of that blush. So now for lips, I'm gonna go in with the NYX Line Loud lip liner in the shade Ambition Statement. So when I did my lip liner, I kind of just fill in the edges here, and then with my finger diffuse it a bit. And then lastly, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil. I love this stuff. You guys know I'm using the shade Pink Quartz, which is a very sheer pink. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. And I'm not going to use any setting spray, you guys, so I didn't even use powder. I have been for the past couple days, and at the end of the day we're going to get into all that, but this is it on its own. This is how it's looking, how it's wearing. Let's do a close-up really quick so you guys can get an idea of how it looks right after applying. They do say that this is for all skin types. If you have oily skin, you're definitely gonna want a powder. It is hydrating enough where, like I said, you can kind of feel it. I do kind of feel it here and around my nose, my T-zone area, so that's something to keep in mind. But I have dry skin, so I'm gonna try today not using any powder, and again, no setting spray or anything. We're just gonna wear it on its own. It's currently 10:43, so I'll be back in about 8-9 hours to see how it's worn throughout the day, and I'll do a natural light test as well so you guys can see how it looks in natural lighting. But this is it right now. This is how we're looking. We're looking and feeling dewy, not in a bad way though, in a nice way. Quickly before I end this here, one thing I'm noticing that I like is that it's not settling like into my smile lines, and it's not breaking down yet, which is a good thing. I'm gonna go ahead, leave you guys here. It's 10:44 now, and I'll see you guys back in a few hours. Okay, we are back. It's been 8 hours. It's currently 7 p.m. and this is what we're looking like. I did not touch up throughout the day, went about my day, did what I had to do. I am noticing some like crustiness right here. Flakiness is a better term. I'm noticing some flakiness right here. I'm not sure why. I wasn't noticing that prior when I would set it with powder or anything. It's probably just like my skincare error. Maybe I did something different today. I did use a different moisturizer, so maybe that's it. But besides that, everything else is wearing pretty good. There's no separation or breakdown of skin tint on my fine lines, my smile lines, or anything like that. Everything is looking good. It's holding up well. And I have to admit, even though I said the past couple of days I was using powder, I don't think if you have dry skin like me, you don't need powder. It's not something that felt like it was getting oily or breaking down throughout the day. Like, it wore pretty good. But if you have oily skin, I do stand by what I said earlier, that you will need to powder. It's not emphasizing any dryness or clinging to any dry patches. I do have a small dry patch here. It wore off throughout my nose because I was like blowing it most of the day. Like, it's not emphasizing or clinging to any dry patch there. And like I said earlier, where sometimes I would like feel it on my skin, there were moments throughout the day where I did feel this on my skin. It didn't feel heavy. It's not something that felt heavy or anything, but it was noticeable that, oh, I have something on. However, I'm not feeling it now. I haven't felt it for most of the day. It was just certain moments. I hope this makes sense, but that was my experience. Certain moments throughout the day, I felt like I had something on my face. I knew I had product on my skin. And then there were certain moments, certain times of the day where I felt like I had nothing on, just nothing at all. So overall, I do really like it. Honestly, I'm gonna be very honest, comparing it to the CL skin tints, I think I prefer this one. I like the way it wore better. And I am gonna have a short, I was gonna do a full video comparing the two. Let me know if you guys would like to see that. Would you like to see a full video comparing the two? Or would you prefer a short on a comparison of the two? Let me know your thoughts down below. But without further ado, let me go ahead and show you a close-up of what we're looking like. Don't mind the flakiness going on in the brows. That's just the eyebrow gel that I'm not too crazy about. I hope you guys were able to tell. I hope the camera picked up everything. It's still looking good. It's a great skin tint, and I think this is a nice skin tint to wear for the summer. Again, it also wears well with powder. I wish I would have taken photos or video the past couple days, but I had a lot going on. But it does wear well with powder. I was using the Kosas powder to set, and it wore pretty well with that. So if you're someone that just likes to powder, it does well with it as well. How many times can I say well? So I hope you guys have found this video helpful and useful. And if you did, please give it a like and subscribe for more content. And if you enjoy videos like this, I do have a playlist of reviewing products, whether I think you should invest in it or not. Be sure to check it out. I'll have it on the side here so you guys can watch more if you're interested. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I hope you have an amazing and blessed day wherever you are. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to just watch this video. It means so much. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the next one.